Can you talk a little bit about subtext? Because I think that's something that's so missing from so many screenplays in today's world, my screenplays included, that it's very on the nose kind of stuff. And it's like, I don't like you. I don't like you either. And that's kind of it, as opposed to doing it with a look or, many other different techniques. Can you talk a little bit about subtext in your characters or in your stories in general?
Yeah. We don't write with subtext because that's extra. We charge extra for that. It's funny because we've been mostly comedy writers for our career. And I think that humor is often subtext. You can't when a character says something funny or does something funny, when there's something funny that happens in your screenplay, it can't just be two characters saying what's on the surface, saying what's on their mind. It has to be sort of a clash, I think, of deeply held views. And subtext is incredibly important because your characters are talking and doing things in a movie, but they're often not saying what they really think, and they're often not doing what they really want to do. So, tone is so important, and all the things sort of behind the writing are incredibly important. And we probably, I think, this is something that when you're on your 10th draft, as we often are, this is when you really start discovering subtext, and where layering those things into your screenplay starts happening. And it's like what you say, if you're just handing in your first draft, you're not going to have the subtext unless you're some crazy genius. It's going to take a while to figure that out and find that. I
think also that a lot of subtext is about this distinction between what a character wants and what a character needs. Mm-hmm. So, if your character's goal is, for example, we were talking about Family Man earlier, this character, what he wanted was just to get back to his old life, to physically return to New York and live in his apartment and have his job. That's what that character wanted. But that's not what that character needed. And so for a lot of the time in that movie, as he's talking with his wife in New Jersey, played by Téa Leoni, he's having conversations where he's still very much focused in the conversation, in the dialogue, on wanting to get back to the life that he had before. But this is not what that character needed. And ultimately, the subtext becomes text, where in the third act of the movie, the character starts speaking very directly to what they need. And that's when the
magic happens. That's when the magic happens. Well, if I might have an example of a little bit of subtext in Family Man, where he goes shopping and he gets that suit when he starts trying on that suit.
Sure.
And then when she's like, we can't afford that, and all of a sudden it becomes so much more than about the suit. Obviously, there's so many more deeper feelings, and this comes out in the argument what it really is about. But originally, it was just like, I want to buy the suit. Well, you can't buy the suit. Like, it's not about the suit. Was that a good example?
That's a great example.
Yeah.
That movie is all about priorities and how you prioritize personal relationships, family, and career aspirations and ambition. And that's what the suit scene is about. He wants his $2,000 suit. He feels like a better man. But is he a better man?
Yeah. It's such a ridiculous when he says that. I feel like cringing when he says, like, I feel like a better man wearing this. Like, that says so much about his character and where he is in his life at that moment in time. Like, I'm like, if I'm wearing this, I feel like a better man. Like, says volumes.
And yet I have to say, when you put on a $2,000 suit,
yes. I don't know if you feel like a better man, but you feel something.
You feel something.
But here's the thing.
There's something in that fabric.
When we were writing that scene, one of us was a father. And the truth of being a father is you never get that suit.
No.
You're all right. I mean, it's like you're sort of always giving up on the suit.
Look,
so I think it was sort of, anticipated what it's going to be like for us.
Well, like I always say, if you look behind me, I have a life-size Yoda sitting in my office. I bought that when I was single before I met my wife. Can you imagine the conversation right now of me walking to my wife and going, babe, I think I need a life-size Yoda. And I know the kids have summer camp coming up, but I need a life-size Yoda.
It's an incredible value.
It's going to only appreciate in time. It's an investment, really. Like, can you imagine having these conversations? So anytime I meet single guys, I'm like, dude, buy any crazy thing you want now.
That's the time to do it.
That life-size Hulk that you've been wanting that costs $6,000 on eBay, buy it now, because that will not have happened in about 5 or 10 years.
That.
Never happen. Never.
How much was the Yoda?
The Yoda, when I bought it, was like $300-$400 at the time. It has probably
sell it for thousands now.
It's probably now in the range of $800 to $1,000. I check every like 3 or 4 years. I'll check eBay just to see where it's at. But it's probably like $800 to $1,000 now. Probably it's from 1999. It was from the Phantom Menace release. It was the one that was in Blockbusters, and they only had like in all the Blockbusters. It was like a giveaway at Blockbusters, and I bought it. And now it's part of the family. I'll never get rid of it. My girls were raised with Uncle Yoda. I mean, it's part of the thing. But the point is, that is my suit. Like, I can't have, if you look behind me, there's like statues of like the Hulk and Wolverine and stuff. They all cost like $300-$400 a piece. Again, before children came.
Right.
I was married, but before children. Now when the kids come, it's before BC. Yeah, it's before children. I can't have that I can't go to Comic-Con anymore and go, babe, I'm going to spend $600 at Comic-Con. I'm going to do that. That conversation won't happen. So we have skewed off the topic, but this is a life lesson for everybody listening. Any young writers listening, buy crazy stuff now.
Buy it now.
If you take nothing from this podcast, take that.
We have eBay is now $20,000 richer because of us.
Someone's buying a life-size Hulk as we speak. By the way,
you